Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Welcome back to the show. We are so excited to have Berenice Brito joining us, better known as BB the Wellness Weaver. Yes, follow your path coaching. She joins us today to talk more about the transformational healing that she can do for you. Welcome. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me here.
Well, thank you for being here. Tell us a little bit about what you do specifically.
I'm sorry, can you ask that again? I couldn't hear you.
Sure. Tell us a little bit about what you do specifically as a coach.
Well, as a wellness weaver, I have a comprehensive and integrative approach to well-being that seeks to create balance and harmony in all aspects of life. The wellness is not just about absence of disease, but the presence of vitality, joy, and purpose. I thrive
Beautiful.
in uncovering hidden gems, and I use weaving together insights that revolutionize the way that you think and work.
Beautiful. Yeah, I was reading about your comprehensive and integrative approach to well-being, that you're helping create so much harmony and balance for others in their all aspects of their lives. What is the website? How can we contact you?
It's followyourpathcoaching.com.
Perfect.
That's the
And
best way to read.
great. Do you want to share a phone number or any social media pages before we begin?
Yes, my phone number is 305-399-8403, and I'm on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube as BB_wellness_weaver.
Beautiful. Well, we're excited to have you here. And before we get to the work that you're doing, which is immense, there's a lot to it. I want to find out more about you. Tell us a little bit about where you grew up, and what brought you down this path to become a healer.
I'm Brazilian. My whole family are physicians. I always knew that I wanted to be a healer as well, but I didn't want to go on the same approach as they did. I didn't want
Okay.
to be a physician. And so after I moved to Miami, I became a nurse and I worked on the bedside for over a decade. I loved helping people, but I always wanted to do more. And coaching allows me to do that because not only I can treat the body, I can treat people, their minds, their emotions, their spirit, and with that, I can affect their bodies in a better way.
Beautiful. You said you've always been a healer, right? You grew up in Brazil. So when did you know you had this special gift and talent in a sense?
I remember when I was 7 years old telling someone that that's what I was, and I always watched out for everybody else and I always cared for people. So I always knew.
Oh, well, we're excited to have you here to talk more about the work you're doing. And currently you are based out of Florida, right?
Yes, I'm in Cocoa Beach now.
Beautiful. But you work with people all over the world in this virtual business, correct?
Yes, exactly.
All right, well, let's talk. I know first and foremost, you wanted to get down to the importance of conscious parenting. By the way, you're a parent as well, right? You have a 5-year-old?
I do.
A
He's the
boy or
joy of my
girl?
life.
Oh, good. I have a 6 and 8. Well, wait, today's my son's birthday. I have a 6 and almost 9-year-old. 2 boys myself. Yes.
Happy birthday to him. That is
Yes,
so
Austin
exciting.
Thomas. Thank you so much. It is. Birthdays are so wonderful. Not so close to the holiday though, but it's okay. It's always exciting. So, what
Well,
is
my
conscious
son, he's
parenting?
very close too.
What is
His
his?
birthday is next weekend, on the 17th.
Oh, and then
So
my birthday's
I
January
understand.
10th too. I hate the January birthdays. It's hard. But all right, at least he's got another week and a half.
Yes,
So,
yes.
what did you mean specifically by conscious parenting? What does that mean?
Well, for me, let me start a little explanation of why I think conscious parenting is so important, if that's okay with you.
Absolutely, please.
So, have you ever felt compelled and very attracted to babies? Do you know why that happens?
No.
Well, babies, they just came to this world, right? So they are pretty close to the divine. They are pretty close to the place that we all came from, which is a place of pure potentiality.
Hmm.
And since they are so new to Earth, they have that energy and they emanate that energy and we feel that energy. And not just feel it, but we recognize it. And even though we are not connected to that energy all the time, unless if you've done the work to do that, you still recognize it and you still know that that energy is also inside of you. And that is the energy of the field of pure potentiality.
Mm.
Yes. So the babies radiate that beautiful energy, which is a very high vibration. And we all heard that being in a high vibration is good for you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when we are close to those babies, we feel that energy. And the way energy works is like attracts like. So by them exuding that energy, it pulls that type of energy out of us. And
Ah,
we have that energy
yeah.
mainly contained within ourselves.
Uh-huh.
Our soul contains all the highest energy in our bodies. And it contains all the knowledge of the universe, the infinite joy and happiness, unlimited potential power, absolute freedom,
Mm-hmm.
pure unconditional love, and abundant appreciation and gratitude for all of that.
Ah,
The problem is, as we age, we put many blocking layers between our souls and who we are on any given day. So, when we come to this earth, we start a process of forgetting. We
mm-hmm.
forget that we've been on that field of pure potentiality. We forget that our soul is connected to it. And more than that, we forget that our soul is made of purest and highest energy and that we can access it. Before we come, our souls create an outline of
Okay.
what we will learn, of who will be the characters in our story, when we'll be here, and for how long, and a general idea of our circumstances. So, even though we choose all that happens to us, like an outline, it's a general idea. What I'm saying is that we are all responsible for our lives, but we are not to blame for any negative circumstances that might come up because there is no blame, there is no fault, no matter how harsh the circumstances are, because the highest intention of our soul was to learn so we could evolve. And that's the reason we come here to experience what we dare to learn.
Beautiful.
And thank you. And most of us learn through pain because we didn't have the support we needed to
Mm-hmm.
learn to cope appropriately. So most of us created limiting beliefs in the first
Yep.
7 years on this earth that still hinder us decades later. The first 7 years of life experience are extremely important. They are the imprint period, the time
Oh,
children
shoot.
are total sponges.
Yes, that's what I was just wondering because my son is turning 7 next month, the other one. But so it's kind of like the other one's done. He's imprinted. He's 9 now as of
Yes.
today. Okay.
Well, the phase after the 7 is still very important because they still learning from all the interactions, but their subconscious has been formed and separated from their conscious mind, which hasn't occurred yet in the first 7 years. That's why they are
Okay.
so important in that sense. Um, and all the experience that they have on those 7 years are extremely important. Um, so what happens is kids, especially at the age, they
Mm-hmm.
tend to suck up everything that's happening around them, right? But they don't have the maturity that you and I have to understand what is going on. And they tend to take everything personally. Many times they wrongly assume things and they make wrong connections. So, for instance, If a kid overhears their parents fighting all the time about money and they create wrong beliefs about money. Worse yet, if one of the parents leaves, if there is a divorce, the child might mistakenly think that money causes fights, that money brings pain. There you go. Another adult unable to be abundant with money. Well, until this adult meets me and I remove all those limiting beliefs and install very nice truths in their place. And then he's an adult living to their fullest potential. Another example is a parent that is always stressed, working too much, not speaking the same love language
Ah,
as the child, and not giving as much attention as the little one craves. There goes an adult with the idea that hard work is bad, that work is stressful, that when you work, you
mm,
don't have time for love.
yes.
Now, imagine that parent had a heart attack and passed away.
Ah,
For that child, hard work equals pain. And when he grows up, it's a constant struggle and all that dread having to go to work 5 days a week.
wow.
So then again, until he meets me and gets a very nice overhaul and starts driving 24/7. So if we go back to those super important 7 years, all their experiences matter. One of my mentors, Laris Lynn from Avalon Empowerment, she said one time that negative, significant emotional events that are not properly managed by an adult
Hmm.
become traumas. I am terrified of traumatizing my child. But after learning that and understanding the how much effect that has, I can take that knowledge and change the way I behave towards my child so I can minimize the amount of traumas he's going to have in his life.
Hmm.
All right. Of course, we cannot, you know, put them in a little safe bubble and prevent anything from ever happening to them because they also got to live and they got to learn and they got to grow.
Yeah.
But we can do our best to be conscious parents and allow them to grow the best that they can do, that they can. So when they are adults, they don't have to fight against all the limiting beliefs, all the blocks, all the luggage that many of us had to go through to be able to be successful.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. And by the way, BB, remind everyone how we can reach out to you. We're just about halfway through, so I want to make sure we can remind everyone how we got can find you.
You can find me on social media as BB underscore wellness underscore weaver or at BB at follow my path coaching. That's my straight email. You can email me at any time. You can always go to my website, followyourpathcoaching.com.
Perfect. Thank you so much. All right, let's continue the conversation. Obviously, we're talking about all the ways she can help you heal that childhood trauma, to inspire you, to help you. And again, the conscious parenting, as we discussed, the subconscious and wellness gained with wholeness is her approach. So let's continue. Go ahead.
All right. So, my main and highest purpose in this life is to change the world by connecting one soul at a time. I wish to continue being a cycle breaker to provide our children the chance to easily full their to easily reach their full potential and to start and that it starts with potentializing conscious parents. My mission is to create a better world for this
Hmm.
amazing young generation as we raise better adults for our planet. So I know that it's a little hard to understand when you haven't been educated on how your mind works and how your
Mm-hmm.
brain works and how everything affects you. That's why I'm giving examples to try to make it a little easier.
Yeah.
So I just remembered another one. Like you can take someone like me, for example. I had a narcissistic father and I had an emotionally handicapped mother. And on top of that, a bunch of heavy traumas. And you get someone that is completely disconnected. Like I lived many years feeling numb
Mm.
to everything around me. I dissociated a lot. I ended up feeling so weak and out of sorts that every time someone raised their voice at me, I would cry. I could never speak in public. Every time that I had to speak up in class, my heart would go fast, my
Oh.
breathing would get all wonky, my voice would tremble. It was a nightmare. And
Mm-hmm.
see me now. I can be on social media, I can do podcasts, I can be here with you guys, and I'm in total control of my emotions. I feel comfortable in my own skin and I'm connected with who I am. That's what allows me to be like this. And that's what I want to help people with, connecting with who they truly are so they can live their best life. Um, what I did was I learned emotional regulation. I released my past. I've released all the weight of my past, right? You will never forget the memories, but the charge of it, the things that were dragging me down, are not there anymore. I released the weight. I lost 50 pounds without dieting or heavy exercise. I do believe exercising is good. Movement is important for health. But what I mean is, you can do everything organically. I changed my mindset, my diet, my looks, my wardrobe. I invested time, effort, and money into improving myself because I knew that was going to be worth it. And girl, let me tell you, it is so worth it. Now I'm happier, healthier, wealthier than I ever been before. And every night I go to bed grateful for everything that I have, for everyone that is around me, and for the life I live. And I'm present in every moment, enjoying it to the fullest.
Beautiful. I love it. Thank you. And thank you for sharing all of this. And I know, like you meant, you've had a lot of obstacles to overcome as well. And, you've been there, you've walked the walk, you've talked the talk, as they say, right? And
Mhm.
you got through your own hurdles and it makes you that much stronger. And you lost a lot of weight, right? Without the dieting and the exercise. It was mindset. So tell me more important about this mindset, please.
It's a lot about getting in tune with yourself, feeling
Hmm.
aligned, doing re-education, changing your styles, changing the way you think, changing what you use food for. A lot of people use food as a coping mechanism. Either
Hmm.
they eat too much when they're stressed or they don't eat at all. And you can change all that, everything that is driving that on the background with mindset work.
Hmm.
And with the conscious parenting, I am so proud of being able to be the best mother that I can be. My son continues to make me proud every day. Everyone that meets him is all compliments. People think he's adorable, he's smart, educated, and I know that for a parent, it's amazing to hear that about your son.
Hmm.
I am ever vigilant to be the best mother I can be because I wanna help him create a map in his mind that is set
Ah,
for success. And we can all do that for our children.
beautiful. I love it. Thank you so much for sharing this. And We still have 5 minutes left in the show. I just want to make sure we're on schedule, talking about everything that's important to you. Did you want to talk about mentoring someone, or who did you mentor, or do you have a mentor? And to talk some about the workplace issues that that you'd like to eradicate.
Well, I do have some mentors in my life, and I do mentor people because I'm all about evolving. I'm all about expanding. But I would like to use the last few minutes to explain a little bit about the unconscious, the subconscious mind, and the conscious mind. So we have those two minds, right? And if at any given day when you're going about and doing everything that you do, you're using your conscious mind. But everything that's running on the background and is driving your conscious mind to take some actions is your subconscious mind.
Mm-hmm.
If we use me as an example, the conscious mind controls about 5 to 10% of who I am. So let's say from my neck up, it's my conscious mind. That is largely directed by all the conditioning, experiences, environment, and choices that I've taken in my life. Now, the subconscious mind, which runs the show, is about 90 to 95% of who you are, all your actions at any given time. That would be from my neck down. And that is a holographic memory. It's a holographic library of all the
Mm-hmm.
memories that you have, everything that you ever experienced. And it restores all that in our body, in our cells, as cellular memory. So when we change something just consciously and we're not touching the body, that change might not be effective because the memory that is on the cells might start fighting you to go back to what it was. So it's important for you to work both sides of it so you can get a more complete change. And that's what I do with my work on NLP.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there is a big thing that the subconscious mind is always afraid of everything that is new. It
Mm-hmm.
rather stay what is known, even if it's not good. It's like better stay with the devil you know than with the saint that you don't. That's how it acts. So
Mm-hmm.
it is important for you to change the way that the conscious mind stores and sees everything around you and your world so you can make better conscious choices.
Yeah.
All the memories have beliefs attaching to them and all the decisions that we've registered throughout our lives. So any of those decisions or beliefs, if they're limiting, they'll create those barriers that I spoke about before, the layers that are between who you are, right?
Yeah.
People call it your ego, and who your soul truly is. So by working together, we can take all those layers away and connect you to your soul so you can be who you truly are and vibe in the highest energy that you can.
Well, thank you so much. Really excited to have you here to talk to you. Unfortunately, we are just about out of time, but we are so excited for you to be here. And starting us off with that baby, if you missed the beginning of the show, it's pretty amazing to think about it. Why are they so attractive? Why are people attracted to them? But you're right. It's that energy, that aura about them. And that sits in my mind because it's my son's birthday today. And I'm really excited to talk about this because that's the energy we want back, right? We're learning through this. We're learning through pain, but we're going to get over it. We're going to be okay, and we can have that best life ever. But we do need some guidance. So, can we reach out to you? Do you offer like an initial conversation?
I do. If you go to my website, www.followyourpath.com, you can book a 45-minute strategy call with me and we can talk about how I can better serve you so you can excel at life.
Great. And then, you can help us heal through all aspects. So it's really important, this reprogramming process, but it can be done. And let me just ask you a quick question. How did everything change for you during the pandemic? Do you feel that? I feel that it was hard for everyone, but I feel like it also inspired a lot of people to change for the better.
It did. It did. It totally did. I think that staying inside, right? Most people stayed inside and
Mm-hmm.
they didn't really have all that contact with other people. made that wave of consciousness that has been already happening in the world for the last few years to get intensified, because a lot of people start thinking more about their mindset and how everything in life affects them and affects how they feel. Now, I think that the stress nowadays, the levels of stress that people live is through the roof. Like
Mm-hmm.
all the numbers say that is above 50% of the nation are stressed, and many of them want to leave their job because they can't handle it anymore. Now, doing this kind of work, changing the way that your body responds to stressors, makes your life so much better. And that can improve everything, your personal life, your work life. It is just an amazing tool that you can use to propel yourself forward in life.
Beautiful. Well, thank you so much for being here, for joining us, and looking forward to the next time we get to connect. So reach out again for that discovery call. She's available. And thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for having me here. I love making connections. So
Well,
please, anybody that wants, go to my website and book that call. It's so good meeting people. Thank you
yeah.
so much.
Thank you, BB, the Wellness Weaver. Don't forget, we're excited to have her here. Follow Your Path Coaching. You have a fantastic day. And to all of our listeners, stay tuned. More of the show's coming right up after the break.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house.
And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.